Hey there, YouTubers. Chris for the HandyGuard channel, as always. And this is my report on the first gold for the Rogue River Oregon dredging season. Today being June 15th, season opener. Alan and I put our dredges in 2 days ago. So today, now that we know what we were dealing with after we got our dredges over, high water, extremely strong current. Normally you would not be working the other side of the river this early in the season without a boat because of the difficulty in crossing. And up till now I've been wading across with the assist of an inflatable that I could lean on for some stability, because it's hard to keep your place even when the water's down. Now it's a nightmare for me. I thought I could swim across with flippers today. The river almost got me. It swept me far down from where I needed to cross, needed to end up by the time I got across, and it was about all I could do just to get there. So I was a little hairy for a while, but I made it. And on the trip back I went back to walking as far as I could, and then when I can't touch anymore I start kicking and paddling until I can touch again and try to hold my ground so the river doesn't sweep me. So anyway, here's that's a little bit of the perils of today's activity. So lead into the first gold of the Rogue River season. So first gold of the Rogue River season was constituted, I've already dumped it into my 20 mesh classifier. It was almost full. It's about I don't know, half a quart, whatever, a little Tupperware size from Les Trappes. Those were Les Trappes concentrates, and I have done my minus, my plus 20s are there. I don't know if you can see it, but there are a few plus 20 pieces of gold. I'll try and point to them for the camera. They might show up a little better underwater. There's one. There's another one. And we'll pan them out in a minute. You see it a little better now. And I think there's another one. Can't miss that gold color. Might be a couple right together there, a couple of little flakes. We'll find out if there's anything else in there. Now that I've separated the plus 20s, I'll pan them separately. And then the minus 20s, which are finer, I will pan also separately. Try and show you a little bit of the procedure without being too boring. Alright, I'll try and give you a little look at it. I'm having to do it by a work light because it got dark on me. It's almost 9 o'clock. Today was quite the ordeal. So there's the plus 20s. I'm just going to dump those in another pan for now, and I'll do the minus 20s first. Then I'll come back and get the plus 20s. I'm going to dump them in another pan, and there they go. Waiting for us to come back and pan them out. Now, I take a little lead weight to hold the pan down to the bottom of my panning tub as a safety pan, because I'll go through it a second time after I do the first run. And of course everybody's got their own technique. I'm still kind of a learning process for me. I watch the masters for tips on panning, and I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can check my display a little bit. You should be able to get an idea of what's going on. You agitate the material while it's got plenty of water so that the heaviest particles go to the bottom. And as Dave McCracken said in his gold class last weekend, over and over, the one thing about gold that you should always remember above all else is it's heavy. And that's where we go to look for it, because of its weight, and that also helps us clean it up. I'm going to have to go get one more tool here in a minute. I'll stop the video. A magnetic device, a little magnet to pick up the black sand once I get some of the lighter stuff off the top. And I save all this material until the end of the year and run it through a gold wheel or a blue bowl to get anything I missed. So I'm going to get my magnet. Okay. Alright. This is a little Joby magnet. Press down to pick up your black sand. Release and it drops it. So the idea is to get the black sand and leave the gold behind. And kind of the method that I've arrived at is a bit of a swirling in the pan. And what I'm trying to accomplish here is swirling the material around, trying to keep the heavies down at the bottom and catching some of the black sand as it comes up a little higher without getting gold. And I'll offload that, again saving it until the end of the year to run one more time. So this is just the method I've kind of arrived at. And I try not to get too much at once. That's how the gold gets clumped in there when there's a lot of black sand for it to be gathered up in. And I see enough of that blonde sand starting to percolate up to the top. Just give it a little standard panning to run that off. See if I can get some of that to run off. Looking for that gold color, because when you see it, it's probably too late, but you definitely want to stop when you see it. And there's quite a bit to go through, so I'm not going to bore you with all that, but here's the method I'm going to use for removing the black sand. As you can see, pretty effective, but it takes a while. Once I've removed all the black sand, we get down to where we can see a little bit of gold, we'll pick it up again. Well, now we're getting down to the fun part. I've removed pretty much all of the magnetic black sand, which I was remiss not to mention before is called magnetite. And I believe the non-magnetic black sand, which is what pretty much all of this is called hematite. Now, I can't pick up any more with my magnet. It's not getting much of anything. So, we have to resort to the old-fashioned method of very carefully panning off the black sand that we can't get with a magnet. And this is not a how-to video because I'm no expert, but I just start slowly, look for the sign of a little bit of gold to show, a little at a time. You know, if you're in a big hurry, I guess some of the experts could probably pan it off quicker. But I already know there's not that much in there. There's a quick look at it. So it was not a real productive day by any means. I only got one dive in. The day was almost a disaster. The river almost took me for a little bit of a sleigh ride. And I was starting to fatigue. You know, I was getting a little panicky there at first when I tried to cross in the morning because I'm not that strong of a swimmer. You know, even with flippers, I thought I could make it, but that is a powerful river, and it has a mind of its own. I would not have been the first victim that it has claimed. So, I'm going to continue this very slow process until I've removed all of the hematite that I can possibly do by panning. And when it starts to get a little too dicey, the gold is starting to move, and there's still some black hematite left, I'll resort to another method of tipping and even using my finger to gradually, carefully separate all the gold out. And I'll just show you what I get at the end so you don't have to look at that. So we're getting there. And then I'll go back and do the same for the plus 20s. I don't know if I'll do a video of that or not. There's so few. Maybe I'll show a quick shot of it. Same process. Alright, a little bit more. The gold is starting to show. If you can pick it up in the video, you'll see it's just starting to show down at the edge of the pan, down in the deep groove, the V of the pan where you shake it and that heavy gold ends up. But we don't want to wash any of it out. If I do, it's in my little safety pan just in case. And I know I'm working with the light a little bit behind on the wrong side of the camera. It's the best I can do for now. I try to get back in daylight to do my cleanups. Today, ooh, what a day. I don't see the gold moving yet. I just see black sand, so I'm going to carefully keep panning. And the angle that you hold your pan at will also determine how quickly things flow out with each bit of movement. So there's a little piece of gold starting to move, so I stop. Try to get that gold to settle back in the groove again. Carefully pan off a little more black. Looking for the gold. So that continues until you've got it as clean as, this is my method anyway, until I get it as clean as I can without losing any. And then I'll do the pick and pull method to finally get the last of the gold out. Try to see a little bit better what's in the pan now. So that was my major, massive gold haul for today. Maybe I made 2 pennyweight, not really sure. That's an awful lot of work for $100. Alright, for everyone who soldiered all the way through this video to see the end, there's the massive gold haul. The left is the -20s, the finer pieces, and then on the right are a little bit chunkier pieces, +20. Pretty disappointing for a 6-inch dredge, at least compared to last year. Maybe I got spoiled. Let's see if I can get this in a good light. Sorry about the lighting, it's quite late now. I'll try to put up a thumbnail photo of it that's reasonable. And I would estimate the weight maybe a couple of pennyweight, hopefully at least that much, because that was a killer day. So there you have it. That's the wrap. I'll give you one little final weigh-in video as part of this whole collage, and then you'll find out how much I got on day 1. Okay, time for a quick weigh-in, because it's 11 o'clock and the Handigard is pooped. There's my big gold haul from a near disastrous day. That I certainly don't want to repeat. Maybe 2 pennyweight. We'll see. I'll take the vial, which is empty, put it on my scale, and zero the scale out. Oh, we need to select units. Pennyweight. So we've got our scale zeroed. Let's see how much we got. Oh, I got to do this so you guys can see it go in. There you go. And a little black sand, might be a piece of gold in there, a little tiny speck. We'll put it all in. Oh boy, almost enough to cover the bottom of a vial. Not quite as good as I had hoped. So let's see if it goes over zero any. Oh my goodness, it's only 0.6 pennyweight. That is pathetic. Yeah. A little over half a pennyweight. Well, So I guess 25 bucks worth of gold is going to have to do for today. We need to do better tomorrow. There you have it, my YouTube friends. Over and out from the Handyguard. More tomorrow. Hopefully lots more Rogue River Gold. Thanks for watching.